Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are super excited to have you with us today as we continue our series around the country, giving you an idea of what the markets in various places look like compared to Phoenix. Before we do that, though, I want to thank you for being here and ask you to hit that subscribe button, notification bell, so that you're made aware of videos like this when we post them. We usually do a couple a week about real estate topics or personal development or even introducing you to businesses around town. So we'd love to have you as part of the 410 family. And joining our 410 family from San Antonio, Texas today is Emily Terrell. She's with eXp Realty there and a fellow Tom Ferry coach with me. So that's how we know each other and just getting to know each other's market a little bit. So Emily, thanks for hanging out.
Hey, I'm super awesome to be here today.
Absolutely. So San Antonio is, you work just San Antonio, or is it like, I'm not sure exactly how it's laid out. So do you have like suburbs that you cover and things?
So San Antonio is a little bit of an unusual city because we have the actual city of San Antonio is quite large, the land area that it covers, but within San Antonio, like literally landlocked inside the city are several cities within that city. So you actually have, and they have their own governments, they have their own police force a lot of times, utilities, different stuff like that. And so they have that all within those city limits. We have a bunch of that. So like I said, our city area. Now, outside of that, we have a lot of rural and suburban towns outside of the city of San Antonio as well. But so it's just tons and tons of different cities to remember, but it's not super hard once you get it.
That's okay though. It's nice to have some variety in life, right? Some urban, some rural.
Yes.
That's good. Yes. Tell us about yourself a little bit so they know who Emily is.
Sure. So I've been a realtor for 7 years now. I've actually been in Tom Ferry coaching for almost the entirety of that. So I definitely kind of been around. For me, coaching is an important thing because it helps me grow my business, and then I can use that knowledge and expertise and help my clients with it as well. And then now I've obviously moved on to coaching. I do have not a traditional team, but I do have a group of agents that I work with, and we all kind of primarily work in the same general area, and we each have our different strengths and weaknesses. So it's great because we're able to rely on each other when we're working instead of just being a single agent with no support.
Very nice. So our rental value is changing and moving up along with the sale prices. What's going on there?
They are. It is a huge increase. So we're seeing about a 30% increase in rental prices just since like November, December time. They're just huge increases. So an example of that, since I own a lot of rental properties myself, I bought 2 rental properties side by side next to each other I closed in December. And when I ran the numbers, when we went under contract in November, I anticipated renting them out for $1,300 to $1,500 a month. And we actually just signed leases at $1,700 a piece. Wow. So it's just, yes. And then I have tenants.
Happy Emily, right? It's Happy Emily.
I mean, it is Happy Emily, but then also, one of the reasons for that is my taxes have went up. The county that those are in specifically had a massive tax increase across the board last year. And then in addition to that, material cost is extremely high because, and then, what we can get. So like paint, I don't know if y'all are aware across the country, and it's not, it's not stopping here. We have, paint is super difficult to get, just a bunch of different materials. So my cost of repairing them, because I'm a believer personally on my rentals that if I'm not willing to live in it, I don't rent it out. So I've got the mentality. So, it does cost me more to update and make sure my rentals are in good shape.
Yeah, we need more landlords like you. There's a lot of landlords that don't feel that way. So we need more people that want quality places for tenants to live, for sure.
It's rare that my tenants move out. I usually have long-term tenants. I have several of them that are like, hey, just to let you know, I'm not gonna move before I die. Okay, that's great.
Could you do me a favor and die not in the house? No, I'm just kidding. That's a different story.
No. I do. I'm like, listen.
How horrible are we? Maybe we should edit this part too, or maybe leave it in because it's funny. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But so inventory there. Are you seeing any kind of an uptick, or is it staying stable, or where are you at with inventory?
So we do have a little bit of an uptick in inventory, but so compared to this time last year, we have 8,000 less homes on the market than we did this time last year. Now, 8,000, so we have like 49,000 this time last year. and we have 41,000. Now we are seeing a little bit of an uptick from the winter, but that follows with spring. So if you look year over year, right at this time, we have an uptick. The problem is we've got an uptick of buyers also coming in as well. So we still have significantly more buyers than we are going to have as far as new listings that are coming on the market. And then, like I said, if you look year over year, this is following the trend of the year. It's just, we're following like where we should be up here, we're down here. And that makes a huge difference as far as that. Plus, even though interest rates rose a little, they're still extremely affordable. I've seen them significantly higher than where we're at now. So they're still extremely affordable. So you've got a lot of people that have a decent amount of buying power that are coming in and, looking to buy right now. So actually some of my tenants are looking to buy because they want to buy a house. And they're like, Emily, why can't we find something? I'm like,
sorry.
Luckily, I'm, as a landlord, I'm okay with we can extend to a month for them if they don't find something, or we can, I'm okay with letting people out of my leases early as long as they don't trash my houses. So, because
it's a good philosophy for sure.
And these people are really great. So, but them, like, they started 6 months into their lease and they're like almost done with it now, and they still haven't found anything. But I'm like, listen, it's patience. Patience is the name of the game for this. So,
yeah. So something that struck me, you said there was 8,000 less homes this year on your market than there were last year at this time. So how many homes are on the market there in San Antonio or in the surrounding area?
Roughly 41,000.
Wow. Active on the market, or does that include things under contract?
Let me look.
And I'll tell you why I'm asking, because when you say 8,000 homes less, I look at our market, right? What's that?
Sorry. I was looking at, when I say that was actually closed sales. We've had 41,000 in the entire MLS of closed sales. Homes for sale currently, I mixed up my statistics. There are currently 4,804 that are homes actively for sale. And then we have 43,000 pending right now.
43,000 homes pending?
So we have 43,000 homes pending.
That's crazy.
And 4,804 homes that are actively for sale. And
we have like 8,600 homes total inventory. That includes about 40% of those that are under contract.
Yeah.
So we've got about the same 4,500 homes available for folks.
Yeah.
But that's a drastic decrease for you. For us, that's only about a 2% less inventory than last year at this time. So that was, I know our market has been crazy for a while. I don't know if San Antonio has been multiple years like this, or
not really. So we're a pretty stable market. You have to realize San Antonio has a ton of military bases in them. So we have a general influx of people PCSing, so they're getting permanent change of address. So we have a really steady influx of people coming and going and stuff like that. Our issue is just like others, states, Tennessee, Florida, we're getting an influx of out-of-state people. Because one thing about San Antonio, because we have so much of a military presence, we have a huge amount of military presence here. We get a lot of people that they are stationed here for some time during the military, and then when they're done and they retire, they actually want to come back and retire here because they like San Antonio. So we always typically have that huge influx of people coming and going in San Antonio and the suburbs, because pretty much anywhere you go, you're within 30 minutes of a military base, unless you live like super country. But even then, I think to get from what I would consider super country all the way across town to one of some of our military bases, it's like 45 minutes. We have a great highway structure here, and we don't have crazy amounts of traffic, which is ironic since we have so many people. But it just
better knock on some wood, Emily. Knock on some wood quick.
I know, right?
Traffic's coming in. That's what we used to be able to say we don't have any traffic, and now it's like traffic is stupid here. But our average price is up.
Don't.
What's that? You don't? Not that you don't?
It's not that we don't. It's just not like, so I'm used to Dallas. I used to live in Dallas, and there it's like, oh my God, it would take you like 2 hours to get to work, and it wasn't that far away. Like it shouldn't have taken. It took you 15 minutes on no traffic days and 2 hours on traffic days.
Yeah, that's nuts. The beauty of having your own business, right, and working from home, other than when you're out showing homes, of course.
Yep.
So yeah, our average price, I was just looking, we just got our new stats, I think yesterday, for February, and we're at 560 now for an average, which is 22.5% up annually, but we were up almost 28% year over year last time at this time. So if you factor that in, I mean, we were down in the 375 average price range just a couple of years ago, pre-COVID.
Yep.
And then once COVID hit, it seems like, I know Texas is no different, but Florida, Texas, Arizona just had this massive increase of population from people leaving other states and coming in. So yeah, it's caused our supply issues and our pricing issues.
Yep. Oh yeah. And it's just a vicious cycle. So we typically, on average, if you look at like our last 3-year average, we typically sit around 3.5% month supply. And just in this last year, we have went down to 1.4 months, which, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that big when you look at it, on a month supply, but that's a huge amount. We were teetering on it was a seller's market, but we were still in, where buyers could find things and they can, buy houses and stuff like that and not be crazy, stuck with that. But now we're really low, and we're in the, like, everything's going, multiple offers and stuff like that. I have houses that I put on, because we have a private network, and I put stuff on the private network, and even there it's gone in 5 minutes. So
yeah, we're at 1.14 months here. So pretty similar, but we were down as low as a half a month at one point last year. So it's, we've seen an uptick, but again, when 4 to 6 months is normal and we're at 1.14, we got a ways to go. So,
So San Antonio, we haven't seen it lower. This is the lowest it's been in the last, we'll just say 3 years. Cause before that, I mean, we were just super standard. But again, keep in mind, we have a large influx of people coming and going all the time. So to be here is really desperate for us. Let me look actually specifically, when's the last time we had changed. So if I look at the last 5 years, since January of 2017, we have been 3.4 to 3.5 months. And then we started taking a dip in April of 2020. But that was even a slow dip. And then now we're at 1.4. So in 5 years, this is the lowest it's been. And we're so completely, like, you should see my line on the graph. It's completely straight across there until we take a dive.
Very consistent until that point, for sure.
Yeah. And again, military presence. So we have that. So, for example, when we're looking at recessions, San Antonio is a lot more stable market, again, because there are constantly people coming and going and moving in and out.
Right.
So
before we let you go, why should folks want to look at San Antonio as a market if they're looking to relocate and or invest? Why would they check out San Antonio?
So as far as investment goes, we do have the increase in rental prices. So you're doing great there. There's also a lot of variety in what you can purchase. If you're looking at Airbnbs, long-term rentals, or flips, there's variety, and there's, depending on what part of town you're in, you're going to get a completely different type of rental property and a different property just in general. So you've got the option depending on what fits inside your box as far as what you want as a rental or, your investment property. We also have a lot of really heavy and great people that do in kind of investment clubs type things here, where they do group financing and stuff like that. So if you're wanting to just give somebody your money and not touch it and not have to worry about it, we've got a lot of really good options for that as well. So also, if you are looking to move here, like I said, we're super rich in history. San Antonio has like 2 type slogans. One is Military City USA, again, because we have 8 billion military bases. But the other one is their kind of unofficial slogan is that we are the biggest small town you'll ever be in, because San Antonio feels like a really tiny town, but it's actually massive and has everything there one to look at.
Cool. We're gonna include your contact info here in our description field below. So if you guys are interested in San Antonio, learning more, definitely check that out and call Emily. But we want to thank you again, Emily, for hanging out with us today.
Welcome.
I hope this was helpful for folks. If it was, do us a favor, hit share, send this to your friends, let them know about San Antonio and the challenging aspects of the San Antonio market. But if you're in Arizona, it might be a place to look for investments, because some of our prices, I hear investors all the time tell me they're priced out. So San Antonio may be a great place to look. So thank you again for checking out the video. Hit the share button, and we will see you again on the next one.
Perfect.